Once again, good evening. I'm Patricia Leva, President and CEO of Junior Achievement of Central Upstate New York. On behalf of Junior Achievement, the Rochester Business Journal, the Rochester Museum and Science Center, welcome to the 2016 Rochester Business Hall of Fame induction ceremony. I have the honor this evening, along with my partners, Sally Parker, Special Projects Editor of the RBJ, and Kate Bennett, President of the Rochester Museum and Science Center, of sharing with you the stories of 5 individuals who have made significant contributions to free enterprise and to our community. As their stories unfold this evening, you will see several themes emerge. Each had a strong entrepreneurial spirit and a clear vision for the future. They made it a priority to mentor their employees and the next generation, and each has worked tirelessly, giving back to our community. This evening marks the 16th year of the Rochester Business Hall of Fame, undoubtedly the most prestigious honor in our community, as it represents the pinnacle of business success and community impact. Joining the honorees this evening are some of the distinguished business leaders that make up the Rochester Business Hall of Fame. I'd like to take a moment to recognize those that are with us. I ask that you stand when I call your name and remain standing, if you can do so. If not, give us a wave, and we'll applaud you all at once. Matthew Augustine, John Bruning, Frank Sciano, Mark Davitt, Paul DeCarlis, Val Dixit, James Hammer, Thomas Judson, Richard Kaplan, Dennis Kessler, Lawrence Kessler, Joseph Klein, Nelson Leanhoutz, Norman Leanhoutz, Walter Parks, Jeffrey Rosenberger, Ferdinand Smith, Greg Smith, and finally Louise Warner. Thank you all for sharing the evening with us. Also joining us this evening to underscore the importance of these visionaries to our community is City of Rochester Mayor Lovely Warren and Monroe County Executive Cheryl Donalfo. Would you both please join me on stage?
Well, good evening, everyone. I'm so honored to be here this evening to say a few words to all of our Business Hall of Fame award recipients and to all the businesses who are here locally. But I have to tell you, it was an interesting day today, and I was at a number of events, and at 2 different events, 2 different people said something to me that I want to share with all of you. The first event, I was talking to a local recruiter for one of our local businesses, and she said to me, this year, she has recruited 11 people in high-level positions in her company from all over the country. And these are people who are coming from Arizona and Texas and Florida and California, and they're all coming here to Monroe County. I thought, boy, that's really something. And then this afternoon, I was in an optics firm located in the Penfield area, and they're doing business with a company in Wayne County, and they have grown in the last 3 years by over 30%, hiring so many people in our local community from the U of R and RIT and MCC, and they're a global business with a presence right here in Monroe County, a private business. Why do I tell you that? I tell you that because so many fantastic things are happening in Monroe County, and it's because of people like you who are here in this audience, people who are willing to take a risk, people who are willing to invest in the community, people who are willing to invest in your employees, and people who make a difference and a lasting impact here in this community. And I want to say, on behalf of all of the residents of the County of Monroe, thank you so much to each and every one of you for what you do to make our community the great community that it is. So a warm round of applause for all of our past recipients, all of our business owners, and those who are here tonight that we are honoring. And to all of the inductees this year, congratulations for your commitment to this community. And I have to share with you a personal story, if you don't mind, if I can take the microphone for one more second. I want to talk a little bit about Sal LaBella. Years ago, when I left the private practice of law and decided to come into the world of politics, Sal grabbed me and said, you know what, Cheryl? remember, it's all about your family. So whatever business you're running, whether it's a business, a private business, it's a government, remember, it's all about the families in this community. And I have to tell you, I've taken that with me from the day he told me that, approximately 12 years ago, to this very day. And I know that that is something that Sal has shared certainly with his family and his employees at LaBella, but certainly something that has been emulated over and over and over again in this community, because this community values its employees just like their family. And I want to say a special congratulations again to all of this year's inductees for the great impact that they have made and for the great leadership that they show our young people who are here from Junior Achievement, and to say thank you to them as well. And turn the podium over to Carlos Carbolata. I've maybe used all of the words, Carlos, but come on up here on behalf of the City of Rochester and join us.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam County Executive. Have you ever been asked to do something when you weren't prepared? Sergio, yes? The mayor has been very, very busy today. We've had a contingent from the Japanese, our sister city, today, and there was a big ceremony at City Hall. When I left, they were all meeting and talking. Some of it I didn't understand, but it was a wonderful event. So I didn't anticipate that I was going to speak this evening, but the county executive, in her own nice way, sort of squeezed me in. But you know, it's interesting. There's a lot of activity going on in the city of Rochester right now, as there is in Monroe County, and we are just absolutely thrilled with the commitment that a number of our developers have made to particularly the downtown area of our city. We had an opportunity to meet with the people who run the Sabres and the Bills yesterday in Buffalo, and I think I can announce the fact that they have made a real commitment to a partnership with us to try to make sure that they are helpful to Rochester as they have been in Buffalo. So we're really excited about all of that. But a city or an area doesn't survive unless it has positive vibes from their business community. And we want to be a help to all of you in the audience, whether you're in Monroe County or the city of Rochester. We want to be helpful. My direct number happens to be 428-7163, and if I'm in the office, God willing, I will pick up the phone. But we want to be available to you. And I'd like you all to test me to see if, in fact, that doesn't work. But if you need help, and I know the same thing applies at the county, that if you need help, we're more than to do what we can. So thank you for allowing me to say a few words. Thank you, County Executive. I will never forgive you, but I will always, always remember you.
So while we come here together this evening to honor individuals who have made significant contributions to our region, I think we are keenly aware that our continued success is dependent on the achievements of our young people. JA believes that mastering academics is only one part of this equation. We believe that financial know-how, workplace readiness, and an entrepreneurial mindset are critical to becoming engaged and productive members of our community. Yet these are skills that often are not prioritized by our education system. JA lessons, when paired with volunteers from the community, members just like you, support these core subjects by providing relevant examples of application in the workplace, as well as the importance of innovative thinking and financial acumen. These lessons and mentors become even more critical in some of our poorest neighborhoods, where the breadth of our young people's challenges are daunting. We know that financial illiteracy and lack of a job or a career path are the key factors in the cycle of unemployment and poverty. So JA's purpose is really to foster a sense of belief in our students, a sense of purpose to overcome life's challenges, and develop the skills that will help create assets and financial independence. I want to thank each of our sponsors here this evening for supporting this critical role that JA plays in preparing youth to succeed in our global economy. I'd like to especially thank our lead sponsor this evening, Bank of America. If I could please ask John Pitton, Market President of Bank of America, to join me for a few minutes on stage.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of all my fellow associates at Merrill Lynch, U.S. Trust, and Bank of America, we're proud to join all the other sponsors for tonight, not only in supporting junior achievement, but also tonight's celebration of the 2016 inductees into the Rochester Business Hall of Fame. Like all of you, we recognize the tremendous value of investing in our future business leaders of tomorrow. We recognize the importance of junior achievements, focus on providing opportunities for the school children of all backgrounds to develop the skills necessary for success, not only in business, but in life. As Patty was saying, for many children in our community, junior achievements mentors and volunteers in classes provide the only real connection to the business world and to financial literacy. And that is why Bank of America, like many of you, are proud to join in supporting Junior Achievement's mission in teaching the youth the valuable lessons of business, that effort and hard work in the classroom and in the business world lead to success, not only in business, but in life, just as it is done for all of this year's honorees. As you may know, Junior Achievement's operating model is dependent on us as members of the business community to volunteer and to encourage our employees to volunteer to help Junior Achievement bring important financial and business lessons to our young people. There is great need for more classroom volunteers in the City of Rochester schools. The team at Bank of America, Adam Hartwig and Susan Acker at Merrill Lynch, and our other employees have adopted School 17, and I would encourage all of you who haven't done so already to consider working with one of our schools in the city. It's unbelievably rewarding, and it's always why every time that we ask our employees, we have 300 employees in Rochester, to consider volunteering as a mentor for junior achievement in the City of Rochester schools. It's one of our most in-demand volunteer opportunities. So please consider, if I do anything tonight, please consider volunteering and being active with junior achievement and teaching the lessons of business and life to all of our young people. Congratulations again to all of this year's inductees. Your work and success are an inspiration for all of us. Thank you and enjoy the evening.
Thank you, John. We are also especially grateful tonight to our friends at Martino Flynn, who have graciously invited JA and members of our community into their firm to help create the stories of tonight's honorees through the videos that you will soon enjoy. Thank you, Kevin, Craig, and Drew, and the entire team at Martino Flynn. I know you're out there, for countless hours and your amazing creativity. So now please take some time to enjoy your dinner and conversation, and we will be back. Dennis Kessler said to me on the way in, Patty, I love this event. It's always on time. So we're a little behind, but Dennis, I will not disappoint you. We will be back around 7:35, 7:40 to begin our program. In just a few minutes, we'll be inducting our newest members, the class of 2016, into the Rochester Business Hall of Fame. When the Hall of Fame was established, it was important that we dedicate a place in our community for students and adults to learn from and be inspired by these Rochester icons. To tell us more about the interactive exhibit at the Rochester Museum and Science Center, please welcome the president of the museum, Kate Bennett.
Thank you, Patty. And congratulations to all of tonight's laureates. I have the pleasure of serving as president of the RMSC, home of the Business Hall of Fame exhibit. We showcase past and present honorees, and you'll be able to, the new honorees will be able to see yourselves tomorrow on our video in the museum and your superb accomplishments. It's your leadership, your dedication, and your success that helps to strengthen the Rochester region. We too thank Bank of America for sponsoring the exhibit at the RMSC. Thank you very much, Bank of America. Your generosity and major support helps us continue our important work, exciting members of our community about science, technology, engineering, and math. As we reflect on past and current accomplishments of past inductees and their accomplishments, I'm reminded of all we have accomplished at the RMSC this year. Photonics. If you haven't seen our new illumination exhibit, you have to come see it. It really helps explain what are the fabulous ways that photonics play a role in our lives and will play a role in Rochester's future. And there are more exciting experiences to come. How many of you have seen the exciting changes on the campus, on our outdoor campus? We are really proud of our green infrastructure project, made possible by aligning efforts with many great partners, government, academic, and business. Together, we were able to strengthen stewardship of our water resources. How important is that to our region? We're able to communicate about a sustainable future. So come see the porous pavement put down by Pike Company and the Nancy Gong art piece, which is so wonderful, and our rain gardens. Coming up this November, we're opening Elements of the Extreme. There are tickets on your table, so you can come, you can give them to people who wouldn't have the chance to come see the exciting exhibit, and we hope you will. We've prototyped and introduced select exhibit pieces already, and we know you'll like the augmented reality sandbox and other wonderful treasures from our vaults. In all of the experiences we provide to the community, we look to spark curiosity and intrigue young minds and mature minds. Families, students, groups all convene at the RMSC to explore and discover, have conversations, extend their minds, and exercise their abilities. Perhaps some future inductees to the Rochester Business Hall of Fame will have gained their inspiration through an experience that the RMSC has offered. Thank you to the Rochester Business Journal and to the Junior Achievement. Our partnership allows us to share the Rochester Business Hall of Fame exhibit with our community and our visitors to the region. We're excited to add tonight's honorees to the exhibit, and we're proud to celebrate inventors and entrepreneurs in this room tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Kate. As many of you know, for the past 16 years, as owner and publisher of the RBJ, Susan Holliday has shared this stage with us. I'd like to take a moment to thank her for these years of partnership and her passion for recognizing extraordinary businesses in this community. And it is now my, yes, thank you. And it's now our pleasure to welcome Sally Parker, Special Projects Editor at the Rochester Business Journal, to get us started with our awards this evening.
Thank you, Patty. Rochester Business Journal is really very proud to be part of this tradition. In my role at the paper, I edit special sections that we do, and this particular one is actually a favorite of mine. Our staff, we have a lot of fun learning about Rochesterians from way long ago to present day who really have shaped this community in so many very interesting ways. So the Business Hall of Fame is a great reminder that the leaders we recognize today, they'll continue to positively affect Rochester for many years to come. So let me tell you about the process for selecting honorees. It's a rigorous one. Each year, an independent advisory committee recommends honorees for the Hall of Fame. This committee is made up of Hall of Fame laureates as well as leaders in business and philanthropy. The committee considers 4 major qualifications. First, inductees have made significant recognized accomplishments and contributions that have positively affected their organization, their business, or their industry. Second, each has an excellent reputation and is a source of inspiration and encouragement for others to follow, especially the next generation of Rochester's business leaders. Third, the inductees exemplify leadership. They have made outstanding and enduring contributions to improving the products, the processes, the efficiencies, or the human relations of their businesses. And fourth, the inductees have made significant contributions to their community. And now we would like to begin the individual honoree recognition. We have JA students with us tonight who are going to help us introduce the honorees. So at this time, I'd like to welcome our first presenter to the stage, Julia.
Good evening. My name is Julia, and I'm a senior at Gates Chili High School. I have had the opportunity to benefit from several JA classes, including JA Titan and JA Economics. And this spring, I am very excited to have been chosen to participate in the JA High School Heroes Program. This program will allow me to incorporate my own work and financial experiences into JA lessons delivered to a classroom of elementary students. Not only will this help me build leadership and presentation skills as I prepare for college, but it will also provide me the opportunity to mentor and inspire students in my own Gates Chili community. Our next 2 honorees make mentoring and empowerment a priority in their businesses. They believe growth not only comes from the innovation and expertise, but also from the cultivation of their people and building relationships.
After attaining a master's degree in civil engineering in 1965, Salvatore LaBella was named partner at Lazier Architects and Engineers. 10 years later, he decided to take a risk, and he started his own firm, LaBella Associates. At the same time, more than 3,600 miles away, in a village north of Madrid, Spain, Sergio Esteban graduated from the Polytechnic School of the University of Madrid, the first of his village to graduate from college. He soon moved to the U.S. and in 1981 met Sal LaBella and joined LaBella Associates, where he would become their 5th employee. Over the next 35 years, LaBella and Esteban worked together on a mission to provide neighborhoods with safer environments, improved infrastructures, and enhanced facilities that serve the public realm. Today, the company has roughly $60 million in sales and close to 400 employees. They work in 14 offices in Ohio, Pennsylvania, Carolinas, and Spain. LaBella Associates is known as one of the most innovative and diverse architectural, engineering, and environmental firms in the region. Sal and Sergio have both won multiple project design awards, including Engineer of the Year, and they've both taken on leadership roles within key industry and associations. They make giving back to this community a priority. Both have served on numerous boards and have made education and empowerment a key priority in their philanthropy.
LaBella was formed in 1978 by Sal primarily as a civil engineering firm and working with mostly municipal clients and things like that. Sergio joined in 1981, so just a few years after that, and they began to develop other lines of business in different markets of the design industry.
They built the company into diverse service areas, and that's really the strength of the company. So we have 8 major divisions in the company, but we treat all those divisions as one company. We don't run it as a profit center, which is very different than some of the other firms in our industry. And by treating it as one company, the company has become successful because the business model changes from year to year based on economics, based on what is happening with funding within the communities that we serve. I mean, we've been growing probably by about 20% a year, and I think it's built on the foundation of that model.
I've known Sal for decades. He's been very involved in the whole downtown development world. He's been on our board of directors. His company's been a member of our organization for a very long time. Sal's path to being a successful entrepreneur, I think, has been guided heavily by a very strong, a powerful sense of values, his personal integrity, his respect for other people. I think all of those things, when you're starting a company and growing it, I think they're essential to creating a really strong backbone. And, you know, it's interesting to watch the transition once he left that leadership and how Sergio, Esteban, and others in the company have taken over leadership roles. And Sal, you know, in a lot of ways groomed and provided the growth opportunities for those people over the years, and it shows.
Well, his leadership style might be called that of a laid-back genius. He wasn't pushy, but he certainly knew what was going on better than most everybody else in the room. One incident, I was privileged to sit in on a very technical, high-level meeting with a bunch of very competent people, and the guy next to me was taking notes, and in big letters he wrote to himself, "Get a big insurance policy on Sal." And I asked him about it afterwards. He says he knows more than anybody else about what's going on here.
When I look for a leader, someone who I would hold up as a model, Sal is a person that comes to mind because he's ethical, he's committed, he's intentional about everything that he does. He's made an impact on the city, both in terms of the culture, the infrastructure, and in terms of the leadership and the political arena to really help it be a city that is improved and a city that is designed to serve people.
Sergio is a great choice for the Hall of Fame, first and foremost because he's a great businessman. He has taken a wonderful business that LaBella built, expanded it, not only in this community, but now they have offices around the country, including outside the country in Spain. But he's also really cares about the Rochester community. So he combines great business leadership as well as community leadership. In terms of his philanthropic participation in the college, he's not only contributed personally, but he's helped us reach out to other people to contribute to the college. He's got great connections in the community, both with individuals and with organizations. And through him, we've been able to interest them in many of the things going on in the college. He's also helped us recruit students. He's very passionate about recruiting students, and so he's participated in that. He actually called students who were admitted to the college to tell them about why they should come to Nazareth.
Sal's leadership in the community has had ripple effects and impacts in ways I doubt the general public realizes. Some very large controversial projects, whether it was the Bosch and Lum Library or the Frontier Field or the Business Improvement District that we had downtown, and Sal's leadership in some very, very difficult, tricky projects that, you know, people were kind of wringing their hands and trying to figure out, what do we do? You know, the environment, the market, the economy in the city was changing during all that time period, and people were trying to understand, what does it mean? And Sal lent a kind of clear eye and an ability to evoke the kind of discussion that moved things forward in the community. And we know the outcome of a lot of these projects. They're built, they're successful, they're a source of community pride. And I don't think projects like that happen without people like Sal.
Sergio is probably the most positive person I've ever met. Just a believer in people. And he's been involved in a number of things in the community. Rochester Works. He's on the board at the Rochester Convention Center and Nazareth College, a number of board initiatives. But all of those are really about giving back and believing in people and believing the community can be a better place. And that culture from both of them has become an integral part of our firm. So much so that the employees, we have a program in the company called LINK. It's LaBella in the community. And it's involved in all sorts of mentorship, support for different groups that need support, big supporters of education in the community. Education is really the key to the success of our region. So the company's always been very strong in terms of its support for that. And just recognizing that and seeing how the employees have now taken that as their own initiative with Link has been, it's quite wonderful to see. I think it's a wonderful testament beyond the nuts and bolts of architecture and engineering that people are familiar with that really make LaBella a special place.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Rochester Business Hall of Fame would like to welcome Salvatore LaBella and Sergio Esteban to its ranks. And accepting on behalf of Sal LaBella is his son, Vincent LaBella.
Wow, thank you so much for those kind words in that video, and to all the kind words I've heard about my father through the evening from all of you. Unfortunately, he can't be here, so it's a great honor for me to accept this award on his behalf. I spoke with him, and he gave me, of course, a list of a few people to thank, specifically Jim Rammerman and Paul Schmid. I think they've given him a lot of guidance and his start in his business, and especially Sergio Esteban for his commitment to the company, commitment to LaBella. And to all the LaBella associates, to his family, to my wonderful mom, his wife, Sandra, for their really unconditional love and support. It's really wonderful to come here and see all these people. I just drove here from Albany. I taught class this morning. I drove here. My mom says, "Oh, you got to come and give this speech," and I didn't know it was such a huge honor. It's really wonderful, quite exciting. If I could just say a few words, I think the county executive captured it very well when she said that Sal said something to her several years ago that has stuck in her brain, because being his son, he has, of course, said a lot of things to me over the years, as fathers do to their sons, that have stuck in my brain. And I'll give you one example. Him being a civil engineer, what we did together growing up was build things, right? We constructed things, decks, fences, porches. We remodeled the house, drywall, plumbing, electrical, you name it, we did everything. And this one time we were building a fence between our property on Hurstbourne Road and our neighbors. And it was about 60 feet of fence, and I could always marvel at the level of perfection that he could obtain in his structures. You know, we had those fence posts every 8 feet, and you couldn't fit a sheet of paper between the end of those 2x4s and the fence posts, and we're going along, except we get to the last one in the back corner of the lot, and there's a gap. It's about 3/8 of an inch gap, about the thickness of your pinky, and he's upset, right? He's pacing around upset, and people know him. Nobody's like when he's upset. And picture this, it's October, it's about 4 o'clock on a Sunday. The 4 o'clock game's about to come on. You know, I'm 12, right? And, you know, I'm thinking, what do I do? What do I do? So I came up with this nice thing. I said, you know, Dad, I tell you what. I said, I'll lean on the post and push it a little bit, and you tighten the bolt down, and we'll close the gap. And I tell you what, we'll keep it between the two of us, you know. Father and son secret, you know, who's going to know? I wrapped this whole nice explanation, you know, who's going to know? And I'll never forget this. He turned to me and he said, you know what, Vince? I don't want to do that because I will know. And I remember that all the time. And I think that's what he could do. He could bring out the best in you. He could always ask you, you know, is that the best you could do? Because he was always expecting that of himself. And it was just wonderful to be around him, to be around someone that wanted the best out of himself, and it made you want to have the best out of yourself as well. And I think that's one of the reasons why he's such a great leader and why he touched so many people. So thank you so much for this award. I'll pass on all the heartfelt thanks to him when I see him later today. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Vince. I have to tell you something about Vince. Vince is a remarkable young man, a great son, a great professional, person that really has done a tremendous amount of good work in research in many different areas. And I take a lot of credit for that because he was our intern for 2 years in a field that it wasn't his, and he did a wonderful job. So thank you, Vince, on behalf of your dad. Well, thank you, all of you, especially junior achievement. I know this, what it means, and all the wonderful work that you do. And I hope that this event brings even more attention to the work that you do with our youth, because our youth is our future. Congratulations to you, all the inductees, to the Rochester Business Hall of Fame, with whom I have the honor to share the evening with you, and also to past inductees. I feel humbled by your accomplishments and the accomplishments of those before us. When Perry Leva called me about this, I don't know, I didn't take the call because I thought it was a joke, or I wasn't sure what, I thought they were just asking for money or something. I didn't know what it was. And it was just totally surprised. 35 years ago, I remember a phone call on a Sunday night. I had just come back from Minneapolis for a job interview. And I had a call from a person, LaBella, whom I didn't know. It's a person that he wanted me to go to work for the company that just started a year and a half before. The week before that Sunday, I had 3 offers from 3 different companies, larger, more money, and more established. I decided I was going to work at LaBella Associates. I always enjoyed the challenge, and believe me, that was a big one. At that time, we were 8, 10 people, I remember, when the company started, when I joined them. And I never looked back or second-guessed my decision. And to this day, I'm still always looking forward and not looking back. Today, we have 460 employees. That means 460 people, 460 families. And that's what LaBella is all about. Sal, the founder, instilled in me and in all of us the principles that made him start the business that he did. Honesty and integrity and sense of community. Those principles are still in all of us and make our company as special as it is. To our employees, represented by the people here today in our tables, and I know, and you know, the reason I'm standing here is because of you. Bob, Rob, and all of you, you know that is true. You all should be here. There are 460 people, but especially the people that are in this room today. Thank you also to the many friends that are here today. Some of them came from Spain, believe it or not. Muchas gracias. And also so many friends across the country that they have been so kind in their remarks in congratulating me. And also thank you to my family for all the support that you always have given me. And you know, and I'm not done, so I'm looking for your support in the future. Thank you, all of us, all of you for being here, and I'm totally humbled and thankful.